win here today?
Man, up until recently, I would have said definitely, absolutely not. But I'm a little bit persuaded too. I'm a sucker for the comeback story. So I might be on the board with you, Henry. I could see it happening. But they're going to be starting on the T side. ENCE will be on the CT side. So let's get things rolling on Overpass. Already, Buzz is out hunting, and Sunpires has almost been running down. He's just around the corner, just barely escapes that last Glock bullet.
Well, off to a flying start here. ENCE with their patented 7-gun approach on the CT side. 2 sets of dual elites, and Sunpires taking a Glock bullet to the face to kick things off here. It all quiets down for now, though. We're going to see Astralis coordinate themselves outside the B-bomb site. They still have 1 smoke, a couple of flashbangs here, and the majority of their HP. Only Buzz taking damage so far. Glaive sets up the smoke, and we will see the play in towards B come in very shortly indeed. Diha gets the warning sign, and he will be falling back, preparing his teammates.
Yeah, actually fallen really far away. He just wants to try and stay alive there. He's got a little bit of backup in the connector, and he's to make sure no one's coming through here. So again, this is a pretty smart play, right? It's better to do this than to die straight away and leave your team in a 4 versus 5 retake. Now it's Sunpires and Snappy coming in with a shot, and a little bit of damage shot, put a lot of damage, in fact. Glaive dropping very, very low on health. Diha, he's not going to get the kill, but again, just, I think, moving out of there and trusting in the retake, absolutely brilliant work for ENCE. They're going to be getting the pistol round with almost no trouble at all.
Yeah, and he gets a lot of information though as well, Diha, right? So he falls back. He's confirmed he's seen, 3 players towards Monster. He's controlling short as well, so they only have to focus on 1 point of attack there, and they don't give up a single player. Sure, the bomb goes down. That's great, but Astralis will be a little bit gutted after getting that initial dink as well. They don't even get a single frag. Snappy, of all the players, making light work of them, and we'll see a clean sweep here. Madden getting the job done from the heavens, and we go 1-0. Of course, the bomb being planted, though, you get an extra $800 per player. It enables you to bring out rifles in the second round. Not across the board in this case, but we have got 4 of them. 3 of which are Galils. It's Blamef with the AK-47, and Glaive with a Deagle here. Sunpires investigating the mid-steps, and here he is, Golden Boy device. He'll be patrolling long. So quite a passive hold from both teams so far. We have got Nerds in towards the connector. He's up close with the M4A1S. Like we said, Sunpires with his scouts looking for any jumping players, peeking for information.
So much fun to watch him play, isn't it? And you're right, what you said earlier. His initial sort of advent into this team was not as exciting as you would have hoped for. Obviously, in the Spanish scene, he was just an absolute superstar. But I think he's been slowly leveling up his play, and that's really, really exciting. That's what you want to see. Nerds has gone down to the start of this round, so that's a bit interesting. And Diha's actually being put under a little bit of pressure right now. Grenades coming in. They're going to try and challenge it, and Blamef will take him down. Good setup with the flashbang, and that 1 AK doing work. So a 5 versus 3 to start this second round with. The Astralis are getting away with a lot here at the start of the round.
Yeah, if you can win the second round force buy, in some ways it's better than winning the pistol. So this is excellent news for Astralis. They can pull this one off. I say that because you don't get the extra loss bonus by virtue of losing the pistol. And on the CT side, you're fully reset, especially if no one saves a damn thing. So this is not looking good. You might even consider a save, but Sunpires, he's got better ideas. That's a beautiful shot. Takes down Glaive. He rotates towards B as well. This round's not done. Snappy to take first contact, and he will rise to the occasion. They've somehow stolen the advantage away, and this is falling apart for Astralis.
It is, and in kind of a dreadful fashion. They really looked like they were going to be able to do a lot more. Now they're running back, but there's only about 10 seconds on the clock. They're still pretending like they want to go for this, but one slip up here, one little delay, and they can't even plant the bomb. Oh my god, Blamef with a running headshot device just straight onto the site. I think he actually does have the bomb plant. He's just in time.
No, oh no, he's not.
It's so close. He must have been less than half a second off.
It was on the cusp. I was keeping my eye on it when you were chatting, and it was like literally as the 4 disappeared. So it has to read 4 at the top.
Yes.
And yeah, that was down to the minutiae there. Super unlucky, considering he hit that shot as well. The drive-by clothesline. You would think that would be enough, but he is not rewarded for his efforts. And there it is, the round. It's back and forth. That was a 5-on-3 in favor of Astralis. I was speculating you might even consider a save here. But there it is. Astralis, I'm sorry, they kind of threw that one away with the Glaive solo play. It all falls apart very quickly, and they are going to buy up once again, even without the Plananders.
And someone else
to be bringing in nothing.
Yeah, I mean, they did put a lot of pressure on them, right? So they're thinking about the ENCE economy too, saying they've got to be low on money. We should go for it anyway. Nerds with his patented MP7.
I suppose they have to as well, because they had one player who survived after the timer, right? Of course, like he didn't get the plan down, so they would have saved 1 gun, and money would have been disjointed from his teammates. So it does make sense, and it's a device you have to try and step up here. Does a little bit of initial damage, but Doesn't ruffle the feathers too much. Nuts. MP7, you can see the difficult investment on either side here. A couple of SMGs for both of them. 3 on the T side. We are going to see slowly but surely making their way towards middle. Bomb rotating towards the fountain now, courtesy of Device. He'll pick up a smoke en route. We've got Diha here towards long, poised with his rifle.
He does love that MP7 nuts. There are times when he can even afford other weapons, and he'll still just sort of try and pick it up because he does do great work with it. So you got to give it to him. Glaive gonna get picked off here. Altex with a deagle, good for the one in return, but needs the headshot on Snappy, and he can't get it. That's unfortunate. Otherwise, that would have been a lot of pressure applied. And Nert's happy to fall back. He's hearing the footsteps. He knows what is coming. Does miss the spray. Eventually, we'll get the kill anyway, but it was not the best spray that we've seen. 2 versus 3. It's doable, although Diha, again, making himself very hard to find. There's no coverage here. Smartly done. Double kill for him, and another round for ENCE. And this time, they'll survive with a couple of more rifles, too.
Nuts. He actually stuck the landing there. It looked like he completely whiffed the shot. If he doesn't get one there, I think the round falls apart. So it was actually quite fortunate. I think the last bullet of his life there led to the headshot. But this was great beforehand. They had the nice little boost up towards Monster, funneling them back in towards A. You can see the time was so low again. They just didn't have enough resources to really eradicate all the risks. They took the plant opportunity. It doesn't work out for them. And surely this is where we'll see the weaponry start to diminish. Yes, indeed. Pistols across the board. Loss bonus building up, that they get maximum loss bonus next round. So as long as they keep the money around 2k, that's normally absolutely fine. Snappy going to get more than he bargained for with his push. And he gives a rifle away, but at least takes a frag with him. So they'll maintain the advantage here. Good grenade. That takes Altex down to 45. That one stings. So I wouldn't say this round's impossible to win, but you would need some miraculous 1-digs. Altex with a backstab perhaps, but they'll see how much damage they can do here.
Surely you want to try and, at the minimum, do a little bit more damage to the CT side economy.
Yeah.
I think if you go on a losing streak early on, especially on the T side, you can keep the morale pretty high if you just know you're doing damage all the time, because it's such an easy story to tell yourself that it doesn't really matter. Like, we might have lost 3 or 4 or 5 rounds in a row, but we're 1 round away from getting, 2 or 3 rounds almost for free, just because of how the CT economy works. So as long as you can keep telling yourself that, it's going to be fine. This is not one of them, though. There's 3 surviving in the last round. This one, it could be all 4 of them, and the ENCE are going to be super excited that it happens. They'll start to get into a much better space. So Glaive and Blamef here, it's really on them, I think, to pick up at least 1 more kill, but preferably 2, to be honest.
Yeah. 2 more would make everything A-okay. You'd be dead on. You can see the money's very low on the CT side, even the 3-0 start. Blamef might be the man for the job. I think he's got this one. Absolutely does. Takes down Madden. And that's going to be the round probably because he's so low. But still, the fact they get 2 kills is better than 0. It keeps ENCE very modest. I can still see those smiles around. Snappy's got to be the happiest in-game leader of all time, I would say, Anders.
Yeah, he's in such a good
Never
position.
seems mad.
No, he never really does. But they also have this great command structure, right? Because he's got Saul behind him, that's the coach. And his word is gospel in this team, right? So I think Snappy also, obviously he's doing the in-game leading when they're in the server and all the rest of it, but I think he can also delegate a lot of it to Saw, and then there's like this whole command structure going on. I think they're in a really good spot mentally. I think that they trust in that system. They have a lot of trust in their coach. It seems to be just, and ENCE have done this over and over again throughout the history of CSGO. They keep building these rosters out of nowhere. So from an organizational point of view, I mean, you've got to give some credit to ENCE as well. They know something that a lot of other teams don't.
Yeah, it's a very good point. From an org structure point of view as well. One of the best in the game. But for now, Astralis with another 5 versus 3, making it 4 on 2. As this one is starting to unravel for ENCE. Bear in mind, we said their money was low. They lose this. They're down to force buy territory as well. They'll only get $1,400 per player. So they've got to convert this one, Astralis. Give this one up. Questions will start to be asked. You just got 1 minute on the clock. A 4 on 2. Should be no way you let this one slide away. But Device will be dinked in the process. 3 players outside the B bomb site right now. Make it 4 with a bomb towards Monster. It's on the back of Blamef up against Madden and Sun Pius. And he's currently top of middle. He has the AWP, of course. But Madden, as I said, coming into this one of my favorite riflers in the game right now. If he can pull this one off, they're in a lot of trouble. He's going to come on blind as well. The first frag is his.
Oh, not bad at all. That'll set it up. A headshot as well to take down Blamef. He's going to keep it going, and just on low health, Device out in the open. And Madden could have had that one too. 30 seconds now.
Oh my god.
That is a wild performance here from Madden. The question is, can Device find the shot? Sampayas if he knows how low he is, he might just be better off using the pistol at this point in time. Still 19 seconds. But I don't know if the damage has been confirmed. He does actually have an HE as well. Oh, this is so scary for Device. Planted the bomb on the right side at the moment, so he's got the right idea. Goes for it, and a lot of damage on top, but he's going to be careful. One bullet tagging him here. Doesn't matter from what it is. Some hair's very low now and falling a little bit further back. He's expecting the aggression coming up from Device, but he's ice cold on the other side, just waiting for it. I don't think they realize the damage. I think, oh, here's the grenade. Is it going to find him? No, not quite. He's a little bit further back. That's terrifying, but it's going to be fine. Astralis will win the round, but not at all in the clean fashion that you would have wanted.
I mean, they still get the job done. They'll take it at this point. It's their first round on the board, courtesy of Device. It was a close call. It couldn't have been more tense, to be honest with you. Some Pius had grenade towards the end. If they had lost it like that, that would have been an absolute heartbreaker. But some Pius, I have to say, after losing that HP, we know that money's going to be low. He has to look at the bigger picture and save the AWP. Obviously didn't get the information the Device was so low, wasn't using the pistol, and there it is. It did get a bit messy here. Madden made them pay for it. It was a 4 versus 2 and comes down to the 1 versus 1. So they're certainly going to force buy around this AWP. Like I said, $1,400 into the next round for the CT. So you're going to be buying everything you can. And it's reflected on your screens right now. 3 MP9s for Madden, Snappy, and Diha. Some Pius with the saved AWP. And Nerds with an M4. And it'll be Astralis taking the tactical timeout. And it's certainly worthwhile. You know it's going to be a wacky round. They'll be force buying. They're going to have the little guns here. But the little guns can do big damage. And as we've all seen, the MP9, in my opinion, pound for pound, the best gun in the game.
Yeah, that's probably hard to argue otherwise, isn't it? Just in a massive amount of output still available for that weapon. Could be a little bit awkward on some positions on this particular map, but you could definitely find some spaces where you get close enough. And there are also people who are just freaks who can make it work in at long range with the burst fires. So we're not going to count them out at all. Gotta say, I think actually in the last round, Astralis had more grenades than they actually used. I think they could have had a Molotov in Madden's position, and they had one flashbang that they threw, and that was about it. Oh, they're going to find the opening kill here. Some pairs still back with that saved AWP, but he misses the chance. Does do a lot of damage, and maybe an HE through will catch Voltex. Oh, actually, yeah, you're right. They do get it.
It's the wallbang with the MP9 that got him. That's so nuts.
That's dirty.
Hopefully we get in the replay, but yeah, he caught the confirmed damage. He saw that he legged him, and then Diha, the speculative spam, he actually gets him. So there it is, the MP9 shining. It's a 4-on-3, sure, but look how low Altex and Device, 10 HP between them. It's down to Blame F and Buzz here to do the heavy lifting. Smoke down towards Heaven. But it's actually a bit of a ruse coming in towards the Barford. I think this is a great maneuver. This kill towards A is going to be everything. This Blame F, of course, in the back lines, causing the rotations, causing a ruckus as his teammates, they were outside B, but he's confirmed the bomb site's actually open here. So Device is going to hightail it back through spawn towards Fountain and get this bomb planted. It looks like this will be enough now. This 4-on-2 shouldn't slip by the wayside.
No, it shouldn't. And it's such a tricky position for some players to be in, right? Because he can't unscope once he's that close, so he has to stay scoped walking towards the restrooms, and the timing just couldn't have been better for Blame F. So, well done. Bomb's going to get planted this time with a lot of time left. And Madden and Diha now 2 versus 4, and they're not even really moving towards you. Madden still kind of looking outside of the bomb site. Might want to find a rifle down there if he can, but even the AWP is not going to be recovered by Device instead. Astralis' second round, and the problem is the money will just continue to be even worse now for ENCE. So this is the work that Astralis put in earlier at the start of the half that's just coming back to pay itself off now.
Absolutely true. You know you're in a bad state when you've opted to save 2 SMGs. Money is falling into disarray. They'll get $1,900 into the next round, and they'll save a couple of MP9s. So can't really justify much more than maybe drop a P250 or 2. That's about it. We'll see USPs. Oh, we find an AK at the very end, Anders. Diha found one the last millisecond of the round. He gets an AK-47. So take away everything I just said. Diha on a rifle, anything can and will happen. There's the wallbang. He jumped up and saw him first. That's great.
Yeah, that's sick. Yeah, saving the AK, though, was actually pretty huge, right?
Yep.
Do some
on the
damage
CT side, you can do God's work, and especially Diha. Such a precise rifler, aggressive, calculated aggression, I would say as well. More often than not comes out on top.
Yeah, he was ready in case there was a boost coming in. He realizes they've stolen the AWP, so there could have been, but not going to be rewarded with anything there. It really is on Diha probably to do any kind of work at the moment. A little bit of a boost to try and get some early damage in with the MP9. Not going to be able to do so. Astralis have set themselves up very nicely for a potential run here. I mean, even in the next round, ENCE, they're going to have a bit of a loss bonus build-up. They can probably do something with it, but it's not going to be that exciting. It's going to be one of those buys where you're not super happy about it. So it could be a great position for Astralis to kind of tie up the scoreline early on.
You're right there, 2,400 per player into the next round. So they won't even have the AWP on San Pius.
Oh.
He's got 1,900 right now, but there's Nuts with a kill.
USP.
Yeah, that's actually kind of massive. Look at the HP on these players left. They'll pull one back here, but the MP9 and the AK are lying in wait. Just the AK now. He has to hold strong. Needs to be baited in if possible. As Astralis pull it back to a 3-on-3. There's San Pius doing what he can, but he's been taken down to 7.
Snappy would love to get there a lot sooner, but he can't. It's just he's so far away. He did actually win the fight again with a USP outside of the B bomb site and picked up an AK, but he just can't get there. His team can't hold the bomb site for long enough, so he's still kind of running there. I'm not sure it really makes sense. I would say at this point, probably just try and save the AK if you're a Snappy and leave some players to his own fate over here. Going to be found instantly. And Snappy now. Yeah, maybe some exits in order if they start to run his way. But there should be nothing else that really could be done here. 4 versus 3, or 4-3 is the scoreline. Going to be Astralis picking up another round and keeping the show going. It's BlameF that's doing a fair bit of work. Device as well. I think that duo is... that is a really lethal combo to be up against, and they've proven it in the past too.
BlameF is just one of those players, like, you're aware of his tendencies and what he's up to. Like, in every scenario when it goes quiet, he's probably in the back lines, but his internal clock, his timings are just impeccable. Like, he's such a nuisance to play against, and you might want to call it baiting or whatever, but he's the reason they win a lot of their key rounds, is by him finding these tactical picks when his team needs to set up elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, it's really true. I mean, he also has these games sometimes where it's really all or nothing, where he does not a lot of work, and then other games where he's dropping, 35 kills, which is... It's hard to be up against sometimes, it really is. But I think with Device playing on it by his side as well, and I think on the CT side they're going to be duoing up as well. They normally play forward towards the restrooms together. It's just so hard to beat that combo.
So, we'll take a tactical timeout. ENCE give up 3 in a row. A chance to discuss their tactical options here on the defensive side. Like we said, the money pretty battered and bruised. They only got $2,900 per player into this one. And, yeah, it's going to be one of those things where you have no AWP for San Pius. He's certainly a serviceable rifler, but it's not ideal on a map like Overpass. You want to be challenging Device with the sniper if possible, because he's pulled out the big green, heading towards B, maybe looking for that first monster pick. Smoked off for now, and have to focus his efforts towards short.
He had the right idea, Ultex there, but doesn't wait quite long enough. There was a jump happening on the other side. Yeah, where the buy shows here for ENCE is the fact that they don't have the grenades to play around with, so they're going to be using a lot of them in the next 20 seconds here. And then if Astralis, I mean, they are really good on this map. They should realize once you're on the T side and you don't hear any nades going down for a good while, it's a bit of an indication of what's coming for the CTs. Madden, though, will get the first kill. That was a good little shot down at the corner of Elbend. And now what will Astralis do? BlameF is walking up towards the restroom. On the other side, Nertz is right there. Walking back, trying to get out of this position with the AK in hand. It looks like he's going to be able to do so. Just a bit of a standstill now. ENCE have no real reason to go forward. That's also why they're falling back from that restroom's positions. Once you're in a 4-on-5, you might as well just play it cool and wait to see what comes. Nertz is up right close to the corner. He could get flashed in. I think San Pius is going to re-smoke his front position, and then when that goes away, presumably they can set up the flash for the peak. Madden is at it again, taking down Buzz. This is just so good. There's Nertz with a kill on BlameF, and this round has fallen apart for Astralis. They didn't even get the map control.
Yeah, we didn't even see a strategy really deployed here. This was all just default kills, trying to go for a contact play through Monster, but Madden shutting them down one by one. Just poor Device left, 25 HP, and he'll be almost certainly going down. 10 seconds as well. He's surrounded. If he survives this, I'll be very impressed. It'll be a miracle. Should be getting maybe this kill, but not meant to be. And they will be recovering an AWP and a very clean round for ENCE. Just what they needed. For reasons we stated before, they were struggling with the finances. The loss bonus wasn't really on their side. CT economy can spiral out of control and Overpass very quickly. Madden with the up top position here on the barrels. You don't see that too often, but you can see why, because you can actually dodge the flashes. It's an elevated angle, and very difficult to predict and pre-fire. So Sumpires gets that final kill, upgrades to the AWP, of course, and we get into round number 9. ENCE extend their lead 5-3, but Astralis with a nice full buy here, but a couple of concessions actually. 2 Galils and actually barely any utility. So it's a buy, and they've taken so much damage en route. What the hell just happened to them?
Yeah, there was one grenade dunked on them earlier, and then a second follow-up that was absolutely huge. Snappy's moving forward, and Ultex, he was on his own, so no chance to survive that one. He's going to be dropped instantly, even if Snappy's a bit low. Yeah, this is so sick.
Oh, that's actually really smart. So you've got one player in the form of Nerds watching the bathrooms, and one in the form of Sumpires, AWPing and baiting him in. He can't be seen behind that rock, so they can just pivot off each other, bait each other in, but it might not matter. This setup has got to be dismantled as Glaive finds a key kill on the A bomb site.
1 minute left. Still a 4-on-4 here as the bomb is going down. That one key kill. Yeah, that's absolutely true. It could give you everything for them. They've isolated the player out long. Nerds is being hunted down. He's going to be good for the kill. Just as the smoke was going up, a Device smartly ditching the AWP, and now he's just hiding right on the other side. If he wins this fight, I think the retake is going to completely fail. Madden, though, will get a kill on Blameif just at the same time. It is still a 2-on-2. They know what Device is, but Buzz, his position hasn't really been revealed yet. Now, maybe they can guess, but yeah, there's going to be confirmation. Madden on his own with a headshot from Device falling through. Triple kill right now for Device. He's absolutely locking it down. And Madden, he's going to get that one, but he's simply running out of time. That is a really close round. Astralis, one kill to basically win the bomb side.
Yeah, just as we are complimenting that amazing setup there. Obviously, going to be some vulnerabilities with a heavy stack towards long. You take a risk. You don't expect them just to do a contact play towards the A bomb site, but sometimes the simplest plays are the best. Glaive helps himself towards the A side. 1 kill found, and there's nothing they could really do to retake it. They were locked out of the bomb site by the smoke. An AWP and a rifle just locked out of the equation. So ENCE, after a very clean round before, at least do have enough to bring the firepower into round number 10 here. It's going to be Mac 10s, though, for a couple of the players in the Astralis side, which might work out perfectly. B-Rush and this, we are off.
You'd love to see it. The Mac 10, look at the jump around the corner. No head armor on Snappy. He will get blown up. So a 2-for-1 trade to enter and Blameif. He's at least good for the one. They weren't expecting Nerds because he's not normally in that position. So once you get the kill, it's fine to find D or Snappy down there. You know that one of those two players is going to be anchoring the bomb site, but finding Nerds as well, that probably threw them for a little bit of a loop. So still a 2-on-3, but how do you... They're not even trying. They're just already running away. They're saying that this AWP is too valuable. The economy is just really, really stretching ENCE very thin at the start of this half. And Astralis, they're loving life. They're going to tie up the scoreline now, 5-5, and they might just keep on going here for a while.
Yeah, they're starting to feel it now. Like you said, the economy is the operative word here. They're reading it very well. They had more than enough money to buy upgraded weapons. They didn't need Mac 10s there, Anders, but they know when the resources are low on the CT side, the first thing to go is the helmet, because that's just the way the game is right now. You need the utility, you need defuse kits. The helmet against AK-47s, there's an argument to be made you don't need it, but if the Astralis have read that well, it's a perfect counter. Bring out that mobile Mac 10 with the running gun potential, even the jumping gun potential, and there it is there. As you said, Snappy of no helmet, and very difficult to shut down his SMGs when the momentum builds up. So lovely recovery here by Astralis, going down 0-3 and now finding themselves at 5-5. On the T side as well as their map pick, they've stabilized to say the very least, and ENCE continuing to save, making concessions, and they're certainly the ones on the ropes right now.
Yeah, they really are. Things started off so well. They look very, very confident in the fight that they were winning, but it's kind of a different question now, especially when you have to make these concessions, not even fighting for a 2v3. I mean, Nerds was in the area in that last round. Maybe they could have fought for it, but when they don't have the money, it's just not worth the risk. I mean, I don't think they're wrong about what they're doing here. It's just, it's a frustrating way to play the CT side. I'm sure they want to battle it out. Snappy's got 10 kills, Madden's got 11, and the rest of them are not necessarily that far behind. I mean, they are putting a lot of kills on the board right now, ENCE. But Astralis, they are winning the economic game at the moment. Nice flashbang. Ooh. And an even better shot. Crisp from Blameif.
Did you see the camera reaction from Sunbias there? He couldn't believe it. Oh, that was a tilter. He knew the fate of the round was on his shoulders there. He gets an opening pick. You never know. They get another rifle. He can fall back, but he goes down so early on, and that AWP is not recoverable. That is massive as Blameif finds the entry kill here. And now they just have to sit back and wait. They know that AWP is going to be so valuable to the CTs. They're going to come sniffing for it. And Nerds, Well, he wants a bit of the action. Shut down in the bathrooms, though. It's Diha up next on the chopping block, and Glaive is more than willing to oblige. That kind of works, doesn't it? Glaive's a type of sword, so yeah, he can be the one beheading him, perhaps. Oh, well, unfortunately, he's gone.
Blunted by Diha. A little bit tough, isn't it? But Madden is not going to be successful with it. It's all on Diha. Good headshot. You love to see it. Give us another one. I wish they would come fight him. I mean, it makes sense for them not to do it, but just, you know, once you see a player that's locked in that zone, you just want to give them more chances. I think smartly done, though, from Astralis saying, you know what, they can probably feel it, too. They're like, he's hitting too many shots with the deagle. Just leave him alone if he's in that kind of mood. He'd love to pick up a rifle here, but not the AWP that's available, unfortunately. Yeah.
Maximum loss bonus release next round, Anders, so ENCE will finally have an AWP of their own. They've been relying on Device's AWP and picking it up so far, but they'll be able to invest in their own and hopefully save this AK as well. It's turning into a bit of a rough half here. You're on the CT side of your opponent's pick. You had a massive start, everything you could have hoped for, and now actually losing the half with plenty of rounds to go as well. So that works both ways. They can recover this, they can still win the half, but Astralis are looking very strong as a team unit right now. Everyone's contributing. I guess Glaive is the only one that hasn't been fragging hard, but apart from that, we're seeing BlameF with captain's performance here. He's got himself 11 kills and that entry kill towards Sampayas in the previous round as well. Absolutely beautiful. In-game leader Glaive does manage to contribute with that kill, but Diha, like he said, blunted the Glaive with the shot with the Desert Eagle. But a couple of nice shots.
You ever feel, Henry, like, you know, it's kind of... It doesn't feel so good when you have to resort to saying stuff like, you know, at least they have the max round loss bonus. You know, it's kind of like,
yeah,
oh,
I know.
Like, oh, we're at the point where, you know, you've lost so much that the round loss bonus is now becoming a real factor. But that is the truth of it, right? ENCE having to rely on that to have somewhat of an economy. They've saved the AK as well, but that's really been the bane of their existence for a good long while right now. And Astralis, they knew it right from the start. That was part of their strategy, just keep on the pest.
Wow.
Altec just rushing right through the smoke. It was thrown a little bit behind him. And a simple little... I don't even know if it's a mistake, but it really does matter if you throw those smokes on the CT side, you know, towards the front of the tunnel or the middle or all the way in the back. And especially when the T's are already in the tunnel like that. So, huge double kill to start with. And now it's a 5 versus 3. And I don't even know what ENCE do here. I mean, some teams in this position will just put all 3 members in one bomb site and cross their fingers and hope.
The old gamble stack.
Yeah.
On Overpass, though, very tricky to make that one work. You'll just lose a lot of vision. One player can probe in like they normally do on Overpass, and they can confirm the information very quickly. You can see Sampayas knowing he has to take a forward stance in this one, and he's being surrounded as they triangulate around his position towards long, 3 players and the bomb. Sampayas is still willing to fight, but he's been spotted. I thought Altec's had a chance of taking him there. He's got the AWP for now, considering he's got such low HP. Smokes down, and that was the last shot I think Sampayas can justify. He'll have to fall back and save the weapon. Round is over. Astralis extends their lead 7-5.
Yeah, they are rolling it back in style. I mean, it is their map pick, but still, the way that ENCE got started, it made everyone, I think, a little bit hopeful that maybe they could have shown us something more, but it feels like Astralis feel very comfortable in the map at the moment. Going to be 7 rounds for them on the T side already, and that's probably enough. You're happy with that. Even if somehow ENCE win all of the rest, I think Astralis will still be in a fine position to combat them in the second half. So, and again, the money means ENCE probably won't be able to put up that much of a fight in some of these rounds. What a weird start to the map, especially given the fact that ENCE looked so crisp in the rounds they won in the beginning. Just absolutely locked in. Mechanically look like they're showing up, right? They're good at winning the fights, but Astralis on a different level so far here. 7-5 the scoreline. There's a 2-round gap.
Well, at least they saved the majority of their firepower on the inside. 3 players surviving, punishing a couple of Astralis players who are probing for those exit kills. They could justify a couple. Their money's nice and strong right now. As we get into round number 13, the dying embers of the first half of Astralis' pick. We'll see if there's a change of setup here. We are going to send 3 CTs this time towards middle. So maybe battling for connector. Sampayas had a pretty rough run of it so far, but it's going to be Nerds who will be happy to challenge. He makes his way towards Fountain and indeed the playground. Oh, it's a double incendiary as well, so they've actually allowed him to get in there with a lot of resources. So they'll be aware there's a possibility, but he still finds the frag all the same.
Yeah, Blameth just taking that fight straight up. I'm a little bit surprised. I guess there was no one further on back. Normally, you have somebody throwing a flashbang for you when you're going for the kind of run that he was going for there, but it doesn't even matter. Optics and Device are just coming right back into the round, taking out Snappy and Madden both, and now the B bomb side's wide open because, like you pointed out earlier, they had 3 people to try and take control of the side of the map, and they did win doing that. They just lost the other part of the map.
The bomb, though, is in T-spawn. It's got to get past a short tunnel. That's the only caveat to this whole situation. I feel like it's okay. Yep, nice movement from Buzz. Guarantees a safe crossing here. So this is the opening pick for ENCE. Courtesy of Nerds. And then, like we said, that mid-stack. The little gambit to try and get positional control of the start. Hunt for information. Oh, it's backfired. Altex with a very important kill towards the B bomb site. And now, I don't think this retake's really worth it. Maybe a boost here. And yeah, I agree. This fall back, it's over. Sampaius has got to hold in the rage. He can't really get any footing so far. He's been trying the aggressive maneuvers. When he plays defensive, he's getting surrounded and pincered. And there it is, another great recovery for the Danes here. As we see Glaive and Buzz just working in tandem, holding towards the water, confirming the round is theirs. And indeed it is. ENCE sent packing once more.
I mean, I can't believe it. This is, I think the strategy overall, I mean, they were successful in what they wanted to do, ENCE, right? They wanted to try and take that part of the map that Astralis has been using over at the restrooms and over by the playground. They did that, but then they just instantly lose the other part, and they can't really get back to it in time. So 8-5, 3-round lead, heading into the 14th round. Yeah, obviously round loss bonus, still just maxed out here for ENCE. But they need more. They need something that's going to really bring them back here. They need the last 2 rounds for sure. At least get 7 in the first half here. And look at that. They're just burning through the tactical timeouts. That's 3 out of 4 already used.
Yeah, and I think rightly so, to be honest with you, for reasons you stated. This is CT side, your opponent's pick. And so far, the only success you've had is since the pistol and the follow-up conversion rounds. It's been pretty quiet since then. They had one nice clean sweep round, but got shut down straight after. So, yeah, this is unraveling at the seams. Coach Saw will chime in. But the thing is as well, Anders, when you take these timeouts, you know they're adjusting. You know they're trying to counter what you've been presenting so far. This is when you're calling the set piece at the very start of the round or a rush. You're kind of changing the pacing up completely. And we'll see if Astralis are that way inclined. Whether they want to send a haymaker in the ENCE direction.
Yeah, you're definitely going to have a conversation as the team that didn't take the time out about, you know, just try and be extra careful, make sure you're not running into anything crazy, watch for boosts, watch for any other little tricks like that. You're going to be well aware that that could be happening. They actually don't put out the Molotov at the ramp over by the A side of the map. That's interesting. Some spam coming through, but no real connection on either side. A little bit more of a peaceful start here. And again, back to the 3-man setup at B, but I guess ENCE are playing a lot further back this time. They're not really trying to push forward.
Yeah, waiting to see what's presented to them, it seems. Quite default so far. Initial utility using a defensive manner to dissuade any probing CTs. Molotov with the same sentiment. Just trying to clear out that connector, claim territory, check the boosts, and make sure there's no funny business going on. Now the CTs are in a bit of trouble. They've got 1 smoke remaining. A couple of incendiaries, to be fair. And we've got Madden and Snappy. Snappy actually elevated towards Monster. Trying to have the element of surprise here. Try and get 1 drop off, baiting his teammate. And Sampaius, like we said, he hasn't really got going yet. A world-class AWP in his own right, but he's been shut down left and right, dragged around the map, and picked off by Blameth more often than not. 30
seconds. Maybe that's the only real concern here. The bomb is being picked up a little bit further back. Spanish sniper coming into it, but Device will take him down, and they need to pounce. They still are not out of the woods yet. They could get shut down, and this happened earlier where they had an advantage, Astralis, but they ran into this double set of a Madden and Snappy down at the bomb site, and Madden just went wild with it. It's Snappy to start it off. We're down to 15 seconds, Henry. They're running out of time, but now they're getting the kills. It's all on Diha. He has to do this. He has to keep it alive. 6 seconds, 5 seconds. Good shot on the Buzz and a spin around. Blameth, why was he there with the bomb? Even if he won the fight, they're going to lose the round no matter what. That seems so confusing. I don't understand. And the Vice goes down after the clock. Not that it really matters. They have the money, but my God, that was all out chaos on the Astralis side.
I think he'd accepted that they weren't going to win the round by planting, and he was just trying to make sure that at least he went down as well. But Diha, you said it was all on him, and my God, did he ever rise to the occasion. It all started with the device pick as well, and then as we noticed, the clock was just so low, didn't have any resources left, and Diha, the turret, manages to mow them down and find ENCE a lifeline here. Final round of this first half, Device looking for the first pick once again, extinguishing the flames and hunting towards middle. And, tantalizingly close. Nerd's lucky to be alive. He will peel off, but Sampayas chomping at the bit to get involved here. Another opportunity at the shop, this time connecting.
Yeah, that's going to feel great. Sampayas had a little bit of a rough start to this game. 6 kills with that one. Snappy again going down, and it's Oltex. He's really had his number down there. Going to be sneaking in, I think, for another fight potentially down outside of it. It's Madden going down this time. Oltex was there to pick up the kill, and now they're finding Nerds because as people on the end side of things start to fall, more and more players want to move forward. They want to try and see if they can claim something back. It's on Diha and Sampayas to try and see if they can bring it back. 2 versus 4. He's got the right idea here with the AWP, but he can't find anyone out there. He's hearing the jumping. He knows that someone's there in a little bit of a spot. That's a good jump for Blame F. He knows.
Yes, indeed. Can they piece this one together? Still a chance for Sampayas here, but beautiful timing there. The coordination on point, as they will find the penultimate frag. Diha, the hero of the last round. No Aki this time. He's got a nade, a flashbang, and speaking of nades, he's getting bombarded here, Anders. I think his time is up. Oh, nading himself as well.
It feels like it's not getting better, is it? Oh, right. Nice shot with the wall bang through 9 rounds in the first half for Astralis. It's brilliant work. We'll see if they can continue and finish what they started in the second half after this.
I don't know where I've been. I don't know where
Giddy up, Counter-Strike fans. We are back. Intel Extreme Masters Dallas 2023 continues. You are watching the Group B upper bracket final. Winner goes to the semis, loser to the quarterfinals. You're watching Astralis take on ENCE, the pick of the Danes, and they're currently up 9-6 after a very successful T-side campaign. It was a rough start going down 0-4, but they stabilized and find themselves with a generous advantage as we head into a B execution here from ENCE. Very common on the pistol round. All 5 players here. They've got a single smoke and 1 flashbang. We are off to the races.
Ooh, kill actually happened before the flash is even there, but the dualies are in play, and he's going to be fine to keep on going. Doesn't need to reload at all, and oh, nuts. That's a nice, swift comeback. Glaive is going to be going down. It's Blame shooting him in the back, but he himself is going to get backstabbed. So real justice for you there. Device now in a 1 versus 3. No bomb plant just yet, so he's going to have a chance to land some really crisp headshots here. He's going to need a lot of them. There's the first. Okay. Can we have a second, though? Jump in the back, and he knows that one is planting and one is jumping. So he's got a good read on where they are, but he still has to just find a very, very smooth shot. And now he's been tagged up and gooshed, and might be time to fall back. He's realized it's just no way to get in with 6 health. So nice attempt, and ultimately still ENCE winning the pistol.
Yeah, I think even saving now makes sense because he took a headshot, right? He didn't take any body shots.
True.
So I think he still has 100 armor. So he might as well save, and they are going to force by next round. He'll get a helmet for 350. So it might seem a little bit strange. It's a pistol, whatever. But yeah, for that fact, just taking a bullet to the face, he still has 100 armor. So look out for that next round. We can't see the armor on this HUD, but if he gets a helmet, that's why. But yeah, that's a very nice round from ENCE, as you said. Going in just before the flashbang popped as well. They had no indicative signs that there was actually going to be the B play, and it's ENCE running away with it. There was a chance, though, with Blame S positioned towards short. They didn't anticipate the 4th player being on site, but he didn't quite stick the landing with the dual elite spray, only getting 1, and it was a pretty convincing round there. 3 versus 1 for Device. Doesn't work out at all. So here we go then. A chance for Astralis to answer back. They will have 2 scouts, an SMG, a couple of deagles as well. Device not going all in, so keeping that money strong. So not going for the helmet. Just going to be rocking out with the scout. Same story for Glaive as well. Not known to be a sniper, but we'll see what he can make of it.
I'm happy to see the double scout. I think it's fantastic. It makes for an interesting sort of dynamic in the round. You get like 1 or 2 tags, and suddenly you can sort of see the fear starts to increase on the T side as they know that any move now could be their last. But you need the tags before it becomes interesting. Sometimes you just hit nothing, and the round kind of just fizzles out on that defense. And actually, looks like they're making a choice already, ENCE. They're falling back. They didn't like whatever it was they saw up at the restrooms, and they're just going to be going back towards another B split that's coming up, which I doubt if Alltex is going to be able to defend on his own. I don't even mind the stack for Astralis here, but this time it's just not the right move. Flashes. Oh, and there's a good spray, even through the debris of the HE. Well done. It will be their round. They're instantly
That's the end of it. It's always a little disappointing when you kind of set it up like that and it does happen. It's just, well, there's nothing left to do. Unfortunately, there's 1 kill, and that is the end. Astralis will have no choice but to save the little they have. But yeah, might as well. We get a second bite of the cherry with the upgraded weaponry into the next round. But that's now both pistols and conversions going in favor of ENCE. If they end up losing this game, Anders, they'll have no one to blame but themselves. That's a hell of an advantage to have on your opponent's pick.
It really is. What a celebration it would be for ENCE. Again, I feel like this is strangely a very, very hard match to predict. I don't know. I mean, again, like up until maybe a week or 2 ago, I probably would have picked ENCE every single time for this one. But Astralis have kind of impressed us in general. So, yeah, I don't know. If they lose Overpass, though, it's way open again. And probably ENCE are favorites to win it at that point in time, you've got to say.
Yeah, totally fair. And very convincing round there for the Finnish organization. We are going to see them have rifles across the board. All the utility you could ask for. Should be another walk in the park here, but you never know. Those scouts and the deagle combo can be difficult, but they'll be aware of what they're up against. They know 4 weapons have been saved. They've seen those scouts, so they'll be operating this like a gun round. They'll be deploying all the utility, making sure they have trade potential. No one needs to go wandering, hunting for straggling kills, but his Device got a scout of his own. It takes a lot of nade damage at the start here.
Well, this time they've stacked the B-bomb site, so they're just alternating between the 2. Still leaving Device out there to run around. Boost as well. Ooh, it's mistimed just slightly. But yeah, might as well pull out the tricks here. I mean, if you've got them, now would be the time to do it. And that could have been one there, but Diha's going to be Happy just taking a bit of a shot to the leg and falling on back. And I mean, even that kind of thing, right? You know instantly, you know something. At least you know there's two people on the bomb site,
Exactly.
right? One of them to be boosted. Oh, and they find Glaive on top. Snappy with a good opening. Blamef's gonna get one, but he's gonna get sideswiped.
No,
I don't
what?
believe it. He almost gets the triple. That's really almost unheard of. Buzz is gonna be taking down Madden as well, and now it's Diha and Sunpass, and Astralis looking to get back into the game around early.
This is unreal. Still a fighting chance here for Sunpius as he gets the first. Buzz hitting in the smoke with a knife. Out! Down he goes. It's now the 1 versus 1. Device has only got the scout as well. Sunpius with 100 HP. It would have to be the headshot for him to stand a chance, but he has found a gap here. He'll have to find a perfect shot. Oh my god, he hits it, and it's the USP to clutch it out. That is remarkable. That's the only play he could have made, Anders, to make that one work. Close range, USP, default pistol, and he pulls it off. It all comes down to the experience, the timing, and it looked like Sunpius had done enough, especially with that second kill in the smoke there. But Blame, he might have stolen the show with this sequence of the MP9. The 180 full HP kill to save the round here. Device with the USP gets the dink, closes it out, and Astralis are back on their feet, and that's why you save, ladies and gentlemen. Even if the round is just a couple of upgraded pistols, some scouts, they made it work in the follow-up, and now they have themselves an AWP and rifles across the board.
AWP on Device, and he will take down Madden straight off the bat. 4 versus 5, and Device is on one right now. He is 17 and 6 at the moment. That's absolutely outrageous, but look at this return. Diha and Snappy find a couple of kills, and suddenly it's a 4 versus 3. Although I've got to say, two of those players are a little bit low on health. It's not necessarily a done deal yet. And look at Device. Yeah. He's actually out hunting in the middle of the map with the AWP.
Kind of has to after that one. Those were like locked-in kills. Everyone's hunting on the CT side. Glaive will be punished for it. Nuts. One step ahead of the curve, and Sunpius helps himself to the A bomb site. So they get smoke CT spawn early, and here comes Device, though. You are right. A fly in the ointment, perhaps. If you can find a couple of kills in the back here, everything could change. They now have got to scramble towards the A site. We have got Nerds in tow. He's running towards water right now, and Device seems to be relatively aware of it as the bomb is planted.
Yeah, he's worried that someone's going to be shooting him in the back, and he's not wrong about it either. He'll find no scope to take him down. Is it worth it to go for it? They could maybe try and do it. Ultex has a kit, and he's waiting for Diha. A little bit of patience. He's going to win the fight. And now it's on Sunpass. He's out hunting for him. If the kit gets lost down here, it's still really uncomfortable, and it will. So now the pressure is on Device. How good is he going to be? Grenade around the corner. They don't know he doesn't have the kit, but he's going to be walking forward anyway, right into the shot, and it's the Spanish rifler to take him down. Double kill on him, and an absolutely must-win round for ENCE. If they would have lost that, I think they would have been too heartbreaking to really come back from, but a good job, 9 to 10, and they're still in this map.
Yeah. The thing is now, you might want to take a tactical timeout, and Astralis will, because, yeah, they lost that round, but they took the majority of the ENCE players down. They already had the advantage. You can see that reflected right now. They've got MAC-10s and 2 Galils on their T side after winning that previous round. Device will have a little bit of extra cash, maybe not because he bought the AWP, but it's definitely a conversation about force buying this one. I would say probably not. I don't think it's required. You still have the lead. It would be a chance for your opponents to build up their reservoirs, though. So maybe just a slight investment, some deagles perhaps. We'll have a look at what they want to go for. Yeah, it's pretty rough, actually. With 1900 on Buzz, you really can't do much with this at all. So they are going to be buying a deagle, a couple of them for Altex and Blame F, but that's about it. So this is where ENCE will tie things up 10 to 10 unless something disastrous occurs. So they're actually in a prime position with the lesser weaponry. You might even prefer a MAC-10 or a Galil with its extra 5 bullets and an easier spray control against these pistols and no armor.
Yeah, it just gives you so much flexibility, and it also just feels good to not have the added stress of potentially losing an AK or whatever. You just know you're going to be finding all the information. If you find the stack, even if you die to it, it doesn't really matter. You can call it out to the rest of the team. So I think Snappy is going to be just fine in that position. Also kind of leading the board for his team still at 15 kills, but bottom fragging is Nerds at 11, so it's a pretty tight spread that they've got going on over on the ENCE side in terms of who's doing what. Glaive is a little bit further on back on the Astralis side. He's got 5 kills at the moment, Buzz on 7, but then Device on 19. I'm so happy that he's back and doing this, because it's possible that there would have been some other ending to his career, right? Like, either way, he would have gone out as a legend of CSGO, but it would have been such a shame if he just never made it back. I think that would have been awful to imagine. So I'm excited to see that. And who knew when you disappear for as long as he did, who the hell knows what's going to happen when you actually return to the game? But it just seems like he's picked it up almost exactly where he left off.
Yeah, it's a very good point. I don't think anyone really knew. I think they were expecting him to have some flashes of form, but nowhere near the level he's been displaying so far. Diha might as well go for this. Got the Mac 10. Every kill is $600. There's $1,200 right there. And he's on for maybe all 4. They're going to find everyone, though. Some Pirates will seal the deal. And we tie things up, as mentioned, at 10-10. So ENCE back on their feet here after a turbulent first half. Their CT campaign only yielded 6 rounds, but now winning both pistols and the follow-up conversions, they are back on their feet. They are looking much better and maybe even taking their opponent's pick if they can keep this up. But they're on the T side. It's going to be an arduous battle as Device pulls out the AWP once again. 20 kills to his name. And we have got rifles otherwise. No kit, Sanders, just to note that.
Yeah, that's really always worth keeping an eye on at the start of the round. Oh, Device, they were turned for a flashbang. They were expecting someone to come in there, but instead, just a raw peek with the AWP. And now Blamef and Device, again, this is the combo that we were talking about earlier. They're so hard to get rid of here. They're usually quite forward as well, and they were this time getting the first kill, but again, I would never want to be up against this kind of thing. But the problem is you obviously have to. You have to at least push them back, because otherwise, even if you go to the B bomb site to try and dodge them, you're still going to be signaling that, and they're going to be ready to rotate pretty quickly. And that's kind of what is happening to ENCE at the moment. They're getting pushed this way. This can't feel good.
Well, for now, locked outside the B bomb site. Just been smoked towards Monster. And it's a 5 versus 4. Looks like it'll just be a B execution. And the CTs are aggressing. They're going to flash through this one, Anders. They're going to be pushing. They're ready to fight. This is going to be a very interesting battle. Who comes out on top? Oh my god, is it ever Astralis? Madden will put 2 back there, but he's not going to be expecting the 3rd player. And that's a really cool setup. CSGO meta has evolved this year. We're seeing a lot more of these fadeaway smoke plays coming through. But that's a great way to do it. The unexpected is presented, and they mow them down before they even get going on their execution.
Yeah, and just not having the read on the fact that there was another player in the corner. I mean, especially with this kind of a setup, you're just not expecting it, are you? Blamef also typically going to be playing on the A side of the map, so there's no reason why he would be there.
Those plays won't be happening as of a few months, right? Like the new smoke mechanics, you won't be able to sit in them like that.
True.
But it's kind of become in vogue recently. Like, Glave's always been up to some funny smoke tricks over the years. He's got a bit of a reputation for getting the most out of them. I think it was the radar conversation that was there a few years ago. Oh my god. Hello,
that's a round-winning play. It is done. They don't have anything. I mean, they came into this round with almost no grenades, right? So just walking through the smoke to win the round, that's insane. I mean, he just did it on his own. They had, I think, 1 flashbang and 1 smoke or something like that. So if that play doesn't happen, there's no setup that's available to ENCE in the round. It has to come down to just the raw fights, and who was expecting that? Ultex and Buzz certainly were not.
Really nice play. And it's Snappy as well, continuing his position as the top fragger. Round over, Device, Glaive, and Blamef. The trio with no choice but to save their weaponry. And yeah, that's a bit of a gimme.
I've got a question for you, Henry, though.
Okay. First question of the day. Let's go.
First question of the day. Well, this is even a serious one. I think it was Yanko that brought this up at one point. I hope I'm giving him the credit that he deserves. He had this prediction at one point that in the future we're going to see something that he called positionless Counter-Strike, where... Because one of the things that you can do now, obviously, especially if you're on the T side, right? If you find a player in a position... And you kind of you can guess that it's one of the 2 anchors. You find one of them, you're like, okay, we know the other one's probably going to be there. But if you play, I guess, positionless Counter-Strike, you don't know. You have no idea, right? This time, if they would have found Blamef early on down in B, that would have been a signal, right? To ENCE. That's something. Right. Like, why is Blamef here? That's weird. That's a little bit off. So obviously, it puts a lot more stress on the CT defense because no one has like a position that they can become experts at, I guess. But if everyone's just going to get better and better, maybe it makes sense. Anyway,
yeah,
like, I think it's an interesting
on some maps, it was kind of presented like that. On Dust 2 comes to note as well. Like, it's you played that as spawn based most of the time. Whoever the best 3 long spawns would go take long, and then you'd avoid that kind of identity at the start of each round, noticing who got killed. So that's the only map. Like, maybe Cash sometimes as well. But yeah, Dust 2 certainly played like that. I think, yeah, it would be map dependent, but there's certainly something to it. But like you said, you'd be weakening your overall setups, I suppose, by not having the specialists in their position each round. But certainly something to think about as we get into round number 23. It is going to be quite a week investment here. Astralis will bring in those 3 saved weapons and don't go for the force buy. So playing for the bigger picture here. Don't want to sabotage their economy in these late stages of the first map of their pick. Remember, the winner of this best of 3 will book themselves a place in the semi-final. You still make it to the playoffs. If you lose the series, you just go to the quarters. So definitely a lot on the line. It gives you an extra day off, extra practice, and a chance to observe. But on the other side of the coin, getting used to the big playoff stage, Anders, do you put any stock in that?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I'm not actually sure how that's going to end up affecting them. A little bit. I think at this point I just want to see Astralis play as I would almost wish that Astralis would go to the quarterfinal. I'm sure they don't want to do that, but
yeah,
I just want to see this team tested as hard as possible at the current stage.
Yeah, it's a good point. Well, Glaive's going to be tested now. He's got players all around him here, and he's passed the first test, no problem. That's the first kill, and Vampires, he'll be dropped, snapping not far behind him, and Glaive just mowing them down, but still a 2 versus 2. Nerds and Dihab fighting back with 15 seconds remaining. It's Device towards CT spawn, and the flank coming in from Buzz.
Nerds on his own. Bomb a little bit further back, almost getting shut down there. It's a very uncomfortably sandwiched thing. He's got no time left either. He could have tried to stick the plant, but obviously they were going to peek him no matter what. So eventually hunting him down after the clock has run down as well. It is the worst of both worlds in this round, but not for Astralis. They are excited to be winning the round. You could see them getting a little bit pumped up. It's been a while since I've seen Astralis get pumped up about anything. So
it's true. I like that from Glaive as well. Notice he was playing in front of the utility, so all the flashes are landing behind him.
Yeah.
He's just using the veil of the smoke as well. Really awkward position to actually play against, and he manages to get 2 massive frags. Here he is now. So Vampires gets dropped. Snappy at the same time as well. Nerds did well with Dihab, but as you can see, 15 seconds here. If Device just got one of these kills, which he did, the round's over. It's a lovely shot towards the rifler there, and then Nerds, he had, 8 seconds to try and get the plant down. Wasn't going to happen, and died after the time, courtesy of Device's USP as well. And that's going to be a problem going forward. So Nerds still will be dropped something here. He's got an AK-47. I think Snappy dropped the AK, and he's taking the MAC-10. So that's very commendable for the in-game lead. That's what you love to see. I noticed earlier in some of the key games, like the Liquid game, for example, like players like Nitro would save an AK and he would keep it, and you'd be like, if the team's force buying around there, you probably want to give it to your strongest, like a Yekindar or something like that, or a Liege. So you always want to see the weaker players swap it over to your stars.
Yeah, but I agree with you. That does tend to happen the way where that's not actually what the case. You just have it on some of the weaker players. I don't know what the philosophy is. If it's just whoever can afford it.
I think it's just like this BM, isn't it? You just don't want to say to them,
yeah,
like in the moment, like, oh, I should probably have that, mate. Come on.
Yeah.
And then I get that. You don't want to create a bad environment, but I think if you're playing by the book, that's the way it should be. So well played to Snappy.
Oh, no, he's definitely been spotted on the other side, Ultex. But I think they had maybe one crack at getting a shot off on Ultex as well. That's a little bit of a shame. 3-man setup down here. Going to be re-smoking the tunnel. And a long time to be waiting now. Oh, and actually a shot coming through there. Not a lot of grenades either on the end side of things. This could get really awkward really fast at the moment. They occupy this tiny center of the map at the moment, but to go back even to this bomb site, again, you don't have all the nades that you would normally want to clear out some part of the map here. They're just going to be walking up, and when the smoke fades, I guess we'll see if Device is going to be ready. Flashed on through. It's going to be Blameth going down, but yeah, Device was there behind him, and he's going to be absolutely more than ready. Big double kill for him. Ready for the third as well. 3 kills as he's absolutely stopped this push from coming through. Nerds is going to get one in return. Only 28 seconds, though, and it's a 1 versus 3. I don't know how I could possibly dream of clearing out this bomb site. They're already out, and he's not at all aware of it. Ultex will take him down. And Astralis is more than just winning the round, stopping the bomb plant and putting ENCE back on an eco.
Yeah, throwing them in the financial bin here, Anders. 13-11, you've got to take an eco here. You can't justify anything. No deagles, not even a P250. That's how bad things are for them right now. But the opposite of bad. It's damn good from Device. This is a beautiful sequence. The King of Denmark, he's still firing on all cylinders. You love to see it on the A bomb side as well. An iconic position for him. And he is doing serious work right now. 26 kills and 9 deaths. Deva has arrived, finally, after so many months of seeing him show us one of those world-class performances.
Yeah, it's a real delight. Anybody who loves Counter-Strike has got to be excited about this. Even if you were rooting for ENCE, you've got to be just so happy to see Device back where he belongs. 26 so far, and 9 on him. So he's doing a really, really good job. D-Heart's taking a bit of damage already. BlameF just aggressively hunting. Oh, getting slowly tagged down. It's just the MP9 that's lost, and he did do an enormous amount of damage. But yeah, that's a little bit funny.
Not a big deal. Like, that's what the MP9's designed to do. He's confirmed they're on Glocks. Like I said, they couldn't really justify anything more than that. They've got one P250, and even I said that was a stretch. So it's not a problem. They'll definitely still win this round. They've only recovered an MP9, and they're walking wounded right now. No one's got any HP or weaponry. Glaive, this is a bit of an ambitious maneuver, but I absolutely love it as he does get the hat trick and brings his total up to 10. Just what he needed. And they will find this 14th round, no problem. Snappy and Diha might as well wait it out, bait out some more grenades, I suppose. What's sort of happening right now? There's $600 of utility deployed.
That's not the kind of move that I'm expecting out of Glaive, right?
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
That's like new school Counter-Strike of throwing up a smoke and then and leaning through it just as it pops. It's a great mind game, and I'm not against it necessarily. It's just not Glaive that I'm expecting it from. But all right, Device will get even more kills. He's farming it up at the moment and putting Astralis at 14. They're doing the work right now, Henry. They're making this happen.
Yeah, you can't argue with that. Accurate statement for sure. And time is of the essence here. ENCE, they're running out of it. Winning both pistols and follow-up conversion rounds. 4-0 start for them in the first half on the T side. And looking down the barrel of losing Overpass. Their opponent's pick, but felt like they had this one in the bag at one point. For now, though, Device can't miss right now. He's got another opportunity. Hearing players towards the top and middle. He's going to keep pushing. Hunting with his opening frag, and my god, has he ever got it. Some Pius hasn't really had a chance to show us one of his amazing plays. He's had a couple of rifle clutches, but nothing significant with the AWP. As his rival will find his 29th.
Gotta say as well, I mean, not the kind of impact the Device is having on the CT side, right? That's sneak up, and it takes so much away. The rest of ENCE, they're just miles away. Good shot through, and Buzz will take down Snappy. The B bomb side defense has actually moved outside of the B bomb side. So sure, Nerds is here, and he's got the bomb, but what does it matter? They can't really get back in now. 2 versus 5. It might be a huge surprise. So Nerds might get 1 kill if everything lines up for him. Maybe it's a double instead, but he's going to reveal himself early, and he gets instantly hunted down. Madden soon to follow. Buzz with a good triple in the round, and Astralis will find 15.
No plant, no real damage. They'll get 4th stage loss bonus, which is $2,900, and they, of course, have to buy here. It's map point. Astralis on cruise control. This is their round to throw away. They'll be up against Galils and Mac 10s. Not much else, and they know it as well. You'll be tracking the economy just like I am on that side, and you'll be very aware that no plants come through for a couple of rounds here. They don't have the luxury of even a single AK-47. So this is surely where it comes crashing down. Round number 16, the hardest to find. When all is lost, you seem to find an extra bit of wind in your sails. So we'll see if ENCE can scramble something together here. They'll be coordinating themselves towards the B bomb site. So a B execution, Anders. It won't be much of one. They can Molotov barrels, smoke heaven, and flash over. That is literally it.
Yeah, very, very one-dimensional approach that's going to be coming out just because of the grenades, and even more so because of the map control. They're all outside of here. The problem is there's already a CT player in connector. Good opening on Buzz. They got to be quick with it too. They got to be careful, or they're going to get flanked pretty fast. There's Alltex going down. ENCE just forcing their way through, and it's looking good at the start of it. Diha's going to make sure he can get that kill. Didn't get caught in the reload either. Grenades are running down, but it should be a bomb plant, and it will be. Device and BlameF, they can't stop it this time. And that might have been one-dimensional, but there was a lot of power behind it for ENCE.
Yeah, absolutely true. Diha, 3 kills there, finds himself an M4 as well. They can still do this. Like I said, that final round is always the most difficult. We didn't see any of those inquisitive pushes on the CT side. It was much more static, a pretty standard round. They just wanted to play it by the book. And there it is. The B play coming in, a fantastic flashbang. A variation of the nose flash, I suppose, that everyone normally throws. They're throwing it over the top instead of through the tunnel. And it was very effective. Buzz could do nothing about it. And now just trying to hold on to his weapon there. BlameF and T-Spawn. Looks like he'll be fine to do so. They just need 1 out of the next 3. And they still have plenty of cash, of course, after being on this massive streak.
You can also see, you can kind of understand why they probably favor the B-bomb side anyway, because going A means running into BlameF and Device at the moment, and they have had a couple of rounds, especially when Alltex and Buzz are playing inside of the bomb site, where they've been pretty good at winning the fights down in the tunnel. That's also why I enjoyed the fact that they were playing outside of B in the previous round, so Maybe they could go back to doing that again, but I would not be surprised if ENCE try and test that B-bomb side a lot more. If nothing else, just to avoid that AWP on device for however long that lasts. I mean, he could switch it up. He could go down and B if they really feel like it.
Well, speaking of switching it up, they've got a lot more information towards the A side this time. BlameF is playing behind the fountain. Device is going to rotate off, hoping his anchor will be able to hold that position. And he actually might push in towards T-spawn as well. On the other side, it's going to be Nerds who's boosting up. I think he's got a kill on Buzz here, but good awareness from the young man. He steps up. That's a massive kill. One step closer to round number 16 here. 5 on 4. No damage taken for the Danes.
No, it's a beautiful start. And with this forward position for BlameF, I mean, he's locking them in. It's allowing for this 4-man setup. Do they realize Device? Oh, he sees just enough and Snappy goes down. That's wild. DR's going to be quick with the return, but time is running up here for ENCE. Madden's going to get the entry, but Buzz is still fighting. Good 1-2 punch and almost getting him through the smoke as well. 2 versus 3. And we're down to 40 seconds here. More sprays coming through, but it's Sunpairs that, yeah, he knows, but he doesn't know when. That's only half the battle, right? You have the right idea, but BlameF. Oh man, he sees the opening. He's gonna call it in. He's gonna say, yeah, they're gonna be walking to the other side. 27 seconds, Henry.
Here we go. Buzz should be able to close this one out. The penultimate frag is found. It's the Spaniard to try and save the day here, but 20 seconds on the clock. Bomb on his back and a fumble jump makes things very problematic indeed. Drops a smoke on the site, and I was going to say his only chance is to try and bail towards A, but Glaive shuts it down. An incredible performance there, especially from Device. He's posting 30-plus frags on his home map as they manage to recover the deficit of both pistols going against them. A team performance across the board. That is an excellent showing, and we'll move on to Nuke after this break.